orders are as follows. Good morning, cadets, and welcome back to our Starfield playthrough, where I'm still on the Vigilance. We're not in Neon, and as you may notice, I have more evidence. That is, I decided to do a bit of exploration off screen. Now, I did follow a guide, so I'm gonna be honest about that, because I was wondering how many evidence did I miss and whatnot, because I was thinking if there was an evidence in the last mission, and apparently it was an evidence that I missed, and actually I had to redo the last mission. Don't worry, I made the same choices, whatnot. The only thing different is that I have the evidence. It was just one. Plus, I went ahead and got other evidences. Apparently there were like 2 more on the key that I missed. I found one. There's actually like 3 on the key. Found the one way back, and then there were 2 more. And then where we had the mission on the planet, I forgot. I think the lock, was it? In that area, I missed one. And then apparently the very first evidence I could have gotten was when we started this quest chain for the Crimson Fleet way back on Mars. It was literally on the table behind the guy, the first guy we talked to, you know, get in the Crimson Fleet. And other than that, I think I'm only gonna miss like the last evidence or something like that, which is gonna be further down, a couple of missions ahead, because the ones on Neon, I vaguely remember getting some of them. I think one of them was in the safe, I believe evidence or conversation with Bayu or something like that was called. Then it was at Euphoria or Euphorica, can't remember, when we had a couple of side quests there in there as well, and was in the VIP area behind the bartender. And I think I've gotten the one, there's one in the kitchen. That's the only one that I'm not sure if I've gotten or not. The other 2 I know for sure, I bumped into them. So yeah, the rest, like 4 or 5, didn't require any missions. I could have gotten them anytime. Was on Gagarin, the Den was it, and I think I can't remember where exactly. So this episode might be a bit more on the shorter side, depending how long the conversation with Lieutenant Toft is gonna take while we give this evidence. But before we give that, we're gonna have to go through them. Most of them, I think, there are at least half of what I have here. So like 10 more besides this one, the Bosch notes. This is from the Vanguard quest. It's still in my inventory. I can't get rid of it. I wanted to put in the ship or whatever, but it says quest item cannot be removed, but I finished that quest line, so this is stuck in my inventory. But yeah, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah, like 10 evidence that I missed. So a lot more, I think double almost. So yeah, we're gonna start with Chiroptera, and like I said, most of them seems to be audio logs, so should be a relatively quick one, and some of them are just to read. So yeah, let's just start with the first one, and then we'll talk with Lieutenant Toft, see how long her conversation is gonna be regarding this evidence, and then maybe I'll jump to Neon, move a bit, advance a bit that faction, the Crimson Fleet next faction quest, and I'll probably leave it there. But for now, let's start with the evidence I have in the inventory.
Holy crap, we made it to Gagarin Landing.
I told you, dumbass, it would work. Now get a load of the cargo manifest.
Whoa, the Chiroptera's hold is stuffed. Why are they running heavy through this sector?
No clue. Lucky for us, we were out hunting when it exited jump space. The drive must have malfunctioned.
Oh Holy shit. Look at the crew roster. They were also carrying 32 colonists. Maybe. I mean, maybe. We overdid it?
Whatever. He knew the risk. What? You growing a conscience all of a sudden?
Yeah, I don't know. Some of them were families, man.
If you want to walk away from this score, that's up to you. Me, I'm heading over to the bar to get blitzed. You coming?
Yeah, sure. I'll be there in a little bit.
Okay, that was the first one. Chiroptera, and next one, Chunks' heist.
So you dragged me all the way out to Red Mall. What the hell is all this junk, Magnus?
Chunks. A full assortment, fresh from the factory, nothing but the best.
So you want a clip tip to pick up the tab on, how many is it? 16, 17, 18 boxes of food.
No, this ain't food, man. This is survival. For deep space hops, this stuff never goes bad, and it's cheap.
At first I thought you were kidding, and I thought, nah, he's just taking the joke too far. Now I just think you're out of your damn mind.
Look, how about you buy half the shipment, try it out, pass it around. The stuff will catch on fast. Ecliptic will love it. Trust me.
How about you run back to the key and tell Delgado he can blow his food out of his airlock? We aren't buying.
Okay. 3 boxes. Heck, I'll throw in the 4th for free. Huh? You can't beat that deal, right?
Fine. If it'll shut you the hell up, load the 4 boxes on my rig and let me get out of here.
Pleasure doing business with you, Toombs.
Okay, that's the second one, and then Eubanks and Woods evidence.
Can you talk to the commander? Get me reinstated? Natara's doing you a favor, Marcine. Would you have preferred a court-martial? Dishonorable discharge? Because all of that was on the table. I would have preferred things to remain as they were, so I made a mistake. But my work on the Comspike was and is irrelevant. Dr. Vogel will do just fine without you. Besides, we both know the only reason you were on that project was to bloat the budget so we could embezzle the creds. And to that end, your share of the funds should be transferred to your Gal Bank account shortly. What am I supposed to even say to that? Those funds are the reason I don't have a job. You could start by saying thank you. Hell, I even warned you not to poke the bear. Commander Natara being the Ursine predator in this analogy. Aaron was right. I should have never hit send. Yeah, you screwed up. Royally. But you can protect Dr. Gong and all the King's subjects by keeping your mouth shut from now on. Yeah. Hey, you want my advice? On some planet at the edge of the galaxy where you can relax for a bit. Lean back. Really dig your feet in the sand. Just get your mind off all of this. Oh, and stop with the sad puppy dog face, too. Makes you look guilty. And what kind of face am I supposed to have? The face of someone who got away with it.
So this is the one that I missed in the previous mission, and the reason that I had to redo the mission as well was because you get locked out of the area. You can go back there near the station, but you get stopped by the patrols, and whatever option you choose, they say like, no, we don't care. If you try to approach the station, we're gonna be hostile. I didn't try to approach the station, but yeah, I'm assuming they're gonna start firing at you and you won't be able to dock anyway and get the evidence. So that's why I quickly redid the mission. But yeah, that was the third one. We still have like 7 more. The next one is Gennady Aton. This is what I could have gotten during the side mission for the Crimson Fleet on the clinic, but it was not necessary. Okay, and this is actually a written one, not an audio log. Supply request. Aiton, I don't appreciate you trying to change the terms of our deal, so I'm going to pretend you didn't mention it. I'll be sending a courier to pick up the supplies as usual, so have them ready as soon as possible. The clinic is not going to miss them. Med packs, antibiotics, bandages, Mark IV kits, sterile saline, topical antimicrobials, sutures. If you're having any misgivings and need motivation, I advise you to keep the following in mind. First, I may work for the fleet, but these are people too. Second, I know all about your sordid little habit. I was there. The only reason you ended up where you did in life is because you're damn good at hiding it. So let's get one thing straight. If you think you can charge me to fund your dirty little secret, think again. Either stick to the deal, or I'll make sure Dr. Darvish finds out exactly who it is that's been nursing her patients. Mina. Okay, next on will be Hope Down Raid.
Alright, Neva went for it, so the plan's a go. The Crimson Fleet is gonna do a quick smash and grab on Hope Town. To get started, I need a layout of the settlement. Don't leave anything out. I want every guard patrol, junction box, mark down everything. When it's go time, I'm gonna need some kind of distraction. Maybe set off a mining charge or something. You know, keep security busy. You'll have at least a week's notice before we send in our ships, so that should give you plenty of time to get ready. Alright, you wanted to be part of the fleet. This could be your ticket. Just don't screw it all up.
And I wonder if this was successful or not. I don't think, or I don't remember bumping into more conversation regarding a raid. Or maybe this is something that's planned for the future. Okay, then we have crit offer. I think this is the one from the den. Let's see. It's a written one from Neva Mora. Alright, this one's up for grabs. Got plenty of supplies left at the UC outpost on Crete. The last raiding party we sent was interrupted by spacers, or maybe even competition from some independents. First ship that brings back a hold full of junk from that place gets a 20% cut. Anyone that rats this out or tries to sweep the place on their own is going to get kill hold outside the key. That was a short one. And then we have Neva Meetup. This is actually the first evidence I could have gotten. Was literally sitting on the table behind Adler Camp, I believe was his name. I think it's mentioned in the evidence as well.
Neva, sit down, have a drink. So, smooth jump into the Soul system? UC security hassle you?
Cut the crap, Adler, and let's make this quick. There's only so long I can stand a stink of minor sweat and stale beer.
Okay, take it easy. Here's the fleet's kickback, just like I promised.
What is this bullshit? This is half of what you promised.
No reason to get upset, sweetie. Security around Sidonia's been cracking down, and it's tough to get the Deimos marks to play ball. That means I'm spending big on bribes, covering lost shipments. This isn't exactly like running a pharmacy out here, you know.
Two things, Adler. And I will make this simple enough so even a total imbecile like yourself can understand. One, I don't give a damn about your excuses. You owe us the agreed amount on time every month. And two, you call me sweetie ever again, and I'll shove my knife so far up your ass that people will mistake you for a unicorn.
Okay, sorry, Neva. I'll make it work. Here's the rest.
That's more like it. I'll see you in a month.
Yep, Adler Camp. I remember the name. Okay, and then we have request A17. This was the other evidence on the key.
Hey, champ. I'm including this month's list of parts I need for the key. Don't bust a gut, it's hefty, but I know you can handle it. I'm gonna need a lot more than usual this time. I'm planning to overhaul the entire electrical system before it completely shorts out. Oh yeah, thanks for sending over the key's reactor specs. I can't tell you exactly why I needed those. Dell said to keep it hush-hush. As far as next month's shipment, start scrounging up some parts so I can spruce up our defensive batteries. They're looking kind of rusty. Well, I guess that's it for now. I'll have my people in New Atlantis drop off the payment at the spaceport. Just make sure you aren't being followed. We wouldn't want the UC to know they're providing replacement parts to the Crimson Fleet.
Right, this was in Jasmine's shop on the key. Okay, and then we have the last evidence that was on the key, and this was in Delgado's office, Voss's parts, which is a read log. Shinya Voss. Regarding the specifications for my interface, I'm going to need to make a few minor adjustments. Galbank is switching to an orthogonal hexabit encryption, so I want to crank up the core clock on my ARM hardware. Can probably get that equipment from Ryujin. I also need to have a storage injector port added so I can keep any damn trace packets off my system. It probably won't hurt to throw in some electromag protection too. The electrical system on the key is terrible, and a short circuit could fry the whole system, the whole setup. Last but not least, I might need a few cushions for the chair in the Reckoner's core. They're wearing a bit thin. Then the last one that was down on the planet from the Warden's office. Warden's log.
Warden Tom Gillespie. Authorization 12210. This is likely to be my final log recording. The riots that started in D block have spilled into A, B, and C blocks. I've ordered everyone to fall back to the shuttle bay for evacuation. It was prisoner D03118, Jasper Crix, who led the revolt. His crew tunneled into the armory undetected, and then all hell broke loose. If the log is recovered, I urge the UC authorities to perform a full investigation, as Crix undoubtedly had help from the guards and the staff. I'm now heading to my personal escape shuttle and we'll try to jump out of the system. Wish me luck. Warden Gillespie, out.
Nice. So that's all the rest of the evidence that I
It's good to
could
have you back. What can I do for you?
get. Now, let's give this evidence to Jillian. I already
You know, part of me respects
took
the
out
freak.
the evidence
Stealing the comms
that I
spot,
recorded in a
chasing
previous
the legacy.
episode. So we have that out
They're
of the
doing
way.
things the FC never even
Anything new to report?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Good. The more you find, the stronger our
I
case.
just call him how I see him.
So, let's start by giving you some information about Adler Camp.
Interesting. Looks like he's been meeting up regularly with Neva Mora to transfer goods and cash from Sidonia. Which means the Crimson Fleet's just lost one of their drop points. That should set them back a bit. Find anything else?
Yep. I found this in the Warden's office at the lock on Suvorov.
I'll be damned. So some of the UC guards at the lock helped touch off the riots. Everyone thought he was some kind of legendary criminal mastermind, but even the great Jasper Crix needed a helping hand to get out of prison. That it?
No. I have a recording about the comm spike shows that the UC's got some internal issues going on.
Cost overruns, siphoning project funds? How deep does this well go? Our forensic accounting team is going to have their hands full. I'll send this to Mass right away. Let's just hope that a few rotten apples within the UC haven't spoiled the entire bunch. Have any more?
Yep. According to this, you have a mole feeding supplies to Jasmine Durand.
Yeah, you're right. But there's no way this was a solo job. Shifting all those parts takes serious manpower. I'll send this to Mast so they can shake the tree a bit, see what falls out. Looks like Durand better start looking for parts somewhere else. Anything else?
A couple more. Here's everything I have on Shinya Voss.
So Voss engineered a way to directly interface with the Key's mainframe? I knew he was a math genius, but didn't realize he was so tech-savvy. Well, we'll share this information with Galbank. Hopefully it'll help them shore up the security on their cryptocurrency. Any other fragments?
Yep. And looks like the Key has been getting its medical supplies from the clinic.
Damn it. I knew those supplies had to be coming from somewhere, but I never expected them to be leaking directly from the clinic. I'll have to contact Mast and let them deal with this. Freestar Collective territory is out of my jurisdiction. Any other fragments?
Yeah, a couple more, but
I'll
hold
be
up,
here if
why
you have
did
any more questions.
Oh, speak to Lieutenant Toft. I was curious why the quest updated. Well, why speak with her? Just
What can I
speak
do
with
for
her.
you?
Ah, is this more of her backstory then? Okay, before we give any more evidence, let's talk about about her backstory. So I don't know, if I give her more evidence, maybe this gets overridden and I won't be able to talk about it. So yeah, can you tell me how Commander Candy saved your life?
I suppose. Though the commander won't be thrilled that I told you, so keep it to yourself. So, when I was running with the Crimson Fleet, I put together a hell of a crew. 6 of the toughest pirates I could find.
Why would the commander mind if I knew about your past?
On the record, it's against regulations. My personnel profile is private, and you need the proper authorization to access the file.
Oh,
Off the record, Commander Akande isn't exactly popular at Mast for the way he runs his operation, so he likes to keep these things quiet. The fact that an ex-pirate is second in command to SysDef's pride and joy wouldn't inspire waves of confidence from his superiors.
okay, makes sense. But you must have been looking over your shoulder the whole time.
Absolutely. I couldn't take my eyes off of any of them for even a second. Imagine trying to get some shut-eye on a ship like that. Didn't sleep much, I can assure you. My first mate was Arya Fikes, the toughest of the bunch. The only problem was that she had a hell of a temper. The smallest things could just set her off, and believe me, she took a while to cool down.
Why did you select her as your first mate?
Honestly, she was so overbearing she kind of fell into the role on her own. I didn't even make it official for months. Despite her temper, she always had my back and helped me keep the rest of the crew in line. Of course, it also helped that she was the best pilot in the fleet. She flew rings around what SysDef was throwing at us back then.
Yeah, sounds kinda risky to make someone like that your first mate.
Well, the positives outweighed the negatives. At first. Anyway, there was this one particular incident where we had a hot tip on a freighter supposedly running heavy with ore. The second we dropped out of grav space, we knew it was a trap. We'd been set up, and the UC was waiting for us. Somehow we managed to take out all of their attack ships. I grabbed Arya and we boarded the freighter.
Where did such a terrible tip originate?
Well, it showed up on Shinya Voss's mission board, which means it could have come from anywhere. I don't know what he's like now, but back then, all of his missions were pretty solid leads with good pay.
Yeah, it was pretty brave, boarding with just the two of you.
It wasn't brave. It was arrogant. We fought our way to the bridge and the crew surrendered. That's when the Vigilance arrived. I watched it vaporize my ship and crew in seconds.
Damn.
Commander Akande radioed over for us to give up, turn ourselves in. Arya went wild. Said she'd start executing crew if they didn't let us leave. The commander tried to talk some sense into her, but she was too far gone. I knew right then she'd rather die than surrender.
Were there any other options?
None at all. We were marooned on that freighter. No ship, no escape shuttles, and no chance of rescue.
And why didn't you side with her?
Even as a pirate, I had my limits. I'd never shoot someone that was unarmed and couldn't fight back. As long as they surrendered and gave up the goods, there was no need for them to die.
Yeah, must have put you in a terrible position.
You can't even imagine. Commander Akande promised to be lenient if we let the crew go. When we didn't reply, he sent over a ship to board us. I saw Arya put her gun to one of the hostages' heads. And saw that look in her eye. I could actually see her squeezing the trigger. Next thing I knew, a shot rang out. I'll never forget that look on Arya's face as she fell to the ground with the wound in her chest. Looked down at the gun in my hand like it belonged to someone else. I still don't know why I did it.
You did what you had to do.
That's what I keep telling myself. I hope to God we're both right. Long story short, I spent a year in jail, then Keebway recruited me. I guess he saw something in me, a desire to turn my life around. I busted my ass to get where I am today. First mate of the Vigilance. Ironic I'd end up in Arya's position, don't you think?
I think the commander made the right choice.
It took a while, and a lot of reflection, but I know he made the right choice. Had I continued down the road I was traveling back then, we wouldn't be speaking right now. I owe everything to Commander Akande for giving me a second chance. According to my superiors at Mast, we've provided them enough data to wrap up this portion of the operation and call it a success. You've brought us a mountain of evidence against the Crimson Fleet and uncovered some unexpected criminal activity. You've done a hell of a job.
Did we really make a difference?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. The brig is filled with prisoners waiting for trial. We've drained the Crimson Fleet's credits and solved a few mysteries along the way. I'd say that qualifies as making a difference.
It was the right thing to do.
Oh? Well, I see we've rubbed up on you more than I expected. Anyway, here. I wanted to give you this. It isn't from Commander Akande or the UC. It's from me. It was my sidearm when I ran with the Crimson Fleet. Something special I paid a hell of a lot of money for. Now it's yours.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, enough of this mushy nonsense. Time to get back to work.
Okay, but can I give the rest of the evidence? I hope so. Right, in the meantime... not a lot of physical damage. I do have a lot of ammunition for it, but I guess it's just gonna stay in on my ship. Right.
The commander appreciates the sacrifice you've made, going undercover.
Cool. I have more evidence for you though.
Nice work. Let me take a look.
Right, I got this hot tip that someone in the fleet is hoarding a shipment of stolen chunks.
A hot tip, huh? What kind of idiot would dig in their heels waiting for a massive payout on some of the cheapest food in the settled systems? I've seen some strange things on this assignment, but this definitely tops the list. I'll, pass it on to my superiors. I'm sure they'll get right on it. Any other fragments?
Yep. I stumbled across some evidence describing what happened to the cargo freighter Chiroptera.
Good. When SysDef stumbled across the wreckage of the ship, we were sure it was the Crimson Fleet, but we could never prove it. We found 32 dead colonists in that wreckage. Poor crew must have put up a hell of a fight. At least their families will now have some closure. That it?
You might want to raise the alarm at Hopetown.
The fleet's planning a raid on Hopetown? Okay. I didn't expect them to be so bold, but I suppose desperate times call for desperate measures. Don't worry. I'll circulate the description of this captain to the authorities on Hopetown and make sure they never set foot in that settlement. That it?
Nope, one more. That looks like Neva isn't finished with that base on Crete.
I have to hand it to Neva Mora. The lady's thorough. That facility on Crete still holds a good bit of valuable resources and equipment. All right, can't do much with this one except pass it over to the military. Hopefully they stop denying the base's existence and do something about it. Anything else?
No, that's all I have for now.
Understood. Keep searching and you're bound to find more.
Okay.
We'll be here if you need us.
Ooh,
At ease.
right. So that's the... at least most of the evidence I can get for now. I'm gonna have to see about the ones in Neon. But like I said, I do remember that I got 2 of them. Not sure about the third. So, yeah. I'll keep an eye out for the third. And then I think it might be 1 more. After that, I saw there are like 20 total. But yeah, I'm up to speed with the evidence. Again, I'm gonna have to see the ones on Neon, and then the last one that's not on Neon. It's a bit more further down the road. But I don't have that quest here anymore. Just broke meets king, burden of proof. Oh, it still shows return evidence to Lieutenant Toft, and it's not checkmarked, but the quest more or less is complete. Okay, so that finishes this part. There is actually something with Barrett.
So Ellie contacted me about the case.
I know which Ellie, but I'm gonna ask just for curiosity. Refresh my memory. Which Ellie?
Oh, sure. Ellie Yankton from Gagarin, the lawyer. She handled Irvin's case for us after we did our investigation.
Well, tell me. I've been waiting to hear about it.
Same. I was beginning to get worried since we hadn't heard from her. But that's interstellar communication for you. Anyway, we have a verdict. Irvin's record will be expunged on account of his death occurring before the trial ended. It's a technical victory, but we'll take it. We can't change the system that made this happen. But I'm glad we tried.
Wait, did I kind of fail this? I thought I got all the evidence. Or is this the good ending for this quest? For his personal quest? How are you feeling about this?
Relieved. This was always in the back of my mind. Always there when I fell asleep and when I woke up. And I would mask it as much as I could. Hide the sorrow with my wit, hide the anxiety with my charm. The grief will always be there. But it's something I feel I can move past now.
And what's next for Ellie?
Well, she's going to keep up the fight. Gagarin is full of cases, just like Irvin's, if you can believe it.
Well, send my congratulations then, and gratitude.
Already did, of course. And a third of the settlement. Just made sense considering how much she did for us. And speaking of the settlement, I divided it into equal portions for me, you, Ellie, and expenses. Here's your share. And I sold the apartment. So here's the bonus from that after taxes. I gave my portion to Ellie so she could fund other cases. So there it is. I guess it's over.
How are you feeling about it?
We knew we couldn't fix the whole system. I'm just glad we could do what we did. I wish we could have helped more people ruined by her faces. But that isn't our fight.
And what happened to Helgi?
Ellie tried to convince the judge to dismiss Helgi's conviction from years ago as well. But the judge didn't think that was warranted. Helgi was having a rough time. We tried, but he didn't make it easy. Also, well, So I gave Helgi a bit of money. Enough to leave Gagarin if he wanted, just in case.
Oh. And can Hephaestus still do business?
Until somebody changes the laws there, this will be just a bump in the road for them. Elia's going to keep digging into them, and now that she's seen this tactic, she may be able to find a pattern.
Okay, then case closed.
There it is. I guess I needed to actually hear someone say it. Case closed. Whew. Finally. It's not lost on me that you've encouraged me to pursue this investigation from the beginning, you know. I appreciate your support more than you can imagine. Thanks, Captain.
Yeah, we make a good team.
I'm glad you haven't changed your mind on working with others after all this. A long time ago, you talked about valuing teamwork. You really meant it. Don't tell the others. But I was having a hard time focusing because of all this trial stuff. So thank you for helping with that.
Well, grief can overwhelm even the strongest of us.
It's funny how that makes perfect sense. And yet we're still shocked when it does. I used to tell myself, get over it. It's been 20 years. But what's 20 years in the span of the universe? It's barely a breath. I think I owe it to Irvin to count to 10 before I exhale. Anyway, I'm just glad we got everything settled with Irvin's case. It was just one loose end in a universe full of them. But I'm glad it's tied.
Okay, anything
Talk
else?
to me, my dear friend. I'm here if you need me.
Nothing.
Just say the word.
Right, so that concludes that one. I still have these activities right here that I don't bother with it. And then doing full ground pounder and remolde the network in Vega. All bugged, unfortunately, plus the Ender's Voyage. So only have the Crimson Fleet quest line, the main quest, and then stories for SS and N, which I don't know when it's gonna get updated. Not sure what kind of stories they want. So yeah, I guess
A lot of
I'm
us
gonna travel
had
to
our
Neon, get that quest started a bit. Plus, I'm curious. I think it was Madame Sauvage that I need to go anyway, right?
Hey.
I almost pressed X and boarded back up.
We're free and clear for flight.
I hate when this happens, right? Again, they took some of my energy out. Okay, Procyon. I think I do need to be scanned, right? No, I can land directly. Sure, I'll land directly then.
I have something. See that huge shield? It's part of the power system. Lightning provides a substantial amount of Neon's energy.
Yep. Right.
Ah, my friend. Dish. Oh,
what do you
yeah,
have for
I
me?
do.
Ah, food. Right? Yeah, sure. Eat it directly. So I do need to get to Madame Sauvage, and I think it was Madame Sauvage, the place that I'm not sure if I got the evidence.
Keep moving, the scanners won't hurt you.
Okay, you're telling me this entrance, and this actually might be the entrance close to Madame Sauvage. Yep, there it is. Game? Ah, auto saving.
Madame Sauvages. Nice.
You know what? Who do I need to... Estelle, she's up there. See if I remember.
You don't have places like this in Aquila, that's for sure.
I think was around here. This is
I hope you aren't here to
not
cause
exactly
any
the
trouble.
kitchen.
Hey there.
Restroom is there. No, I think the evidence should have been back here. But I'm not seeing anything. I'll probably just double check again off screen. Is this another kitchen? Maybe upstairs? Would the kitchen be upstairs? Oh, no, don't answer that.
How many
Door
velocities did
locked,
I have?
so that's the only places that could go. Hey, I guess I'm gonna leave it here for this episode, and yep, next episode we're just gonna continue with the Crimson Fleet quest, talk with Estelle, and then I'll keep an eye out for the other evidence, which again, I think I've gotten them, so it should be fine. So for now, hopefully you enjoyed this episode, guys, and I'll see you next time. But as always, don't forget to take care.